He has been a member of the House of Delegates since 2003. Delegate Marvin Holmes also serves on numerous committees in Annapolis. He focuses on creating jobs, economic sustainability, education, career readiness, and much more. He's joining us now to talk about why he should be reelected to his District 23B seat. Delegate Holmes, thank you for being with us.
It's such a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Now, you've been in the legislature since 2003.
That is correct.
What would you say, and that's a long time, but what would you say your major accomplishments have been?
Well, when I first got into office, I was amazed that Prince George's County, as large as it is, did not have a state agency within Prince George's County. So several years ago, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, I put in legislation that required a state agency come to Prince George's County. That agency was the Department of Housing and Community Development, the only state agency that is in Prince George's County, bringing with it 350 professional, well-paying jobs. In addition to that, I asked that DHCD, when they came to Prince George's County, put in an internship to train young students at Bowie State University and University of Maryland to take some of those good-paying jobs.
Okay, all right. And you heard earlier we'd done a story with the governor where he was talking about more funding for education and as well as an accountability office. Let me get you to kind of react to that. I mean, you've seen what's been going on here in Prince George's having to do with the educational system and what officials are trying to do to sort of respond to the grade fixing issues. What do you think about what he said, and will it work?
Well, I appreciate what the governor's saying, particularly when there's an election year coming up. There's been some opportunities where he has reduced some of the funding, and now I understand why he's doing it. I mean, like I said, this is an election year coming up. I do appreciate the fact that he wants to get some accountability in some of the education system, but let's not use our students as a political football.
So you think it's purely political?
I think there's some parts of it that are political, and I think that there's some discussions that need to be made within our own Prince George's County system, and I think that we're trying to handle those within Prince George's County. But I do think that I would like the governor to focus on the funding aspect and let Prince George's County take care of Prince George's County.
And what do you think needs to be done in terms of perception, and do you think Prince George's County is moving in the right direction in terms of fixing what has been found in the audit having to do with the education?
I like that word that you used, perception. I think if we focus on the perception that most of our kids are doing well, if we focused on the kids that are doing well, if we focus on the fact that teachers from Prince George's County are sought after all across the United States because they're some of the greatest teachers in the United States. Perception is we always want to look at some of the bad things that are going on. If we change our focus, we will understand the value that we have in Prince George's County, in our teachers and in our system.
Okay. And you're here because you have an election coming up. Talk a little bit about what you plan to do for this upcoming session, and also we're get into the election part of it and why people should vote for you in the upcoming election.
I appreciate that opportunity. As you indicated, I am chair of multiple subcommittees. Most recently, within the past 2 years, the Speaker of the House has appointed me as chair of Housing and Real Property. And I think that he did that because of my professional background in the industry itself. We had a long period of time where vacant and abandoned homes were causing a lot of turmoil within our communities. One of the bills that I had passed last year had a process in it to expedite the foreclosure process. And I want to make it clear, it was expediting the foreclosure process on abandoned homes. It was interesting, when I started out in this process in 2016 in the summer, there were 13 different definitions of vacant and abandoned across the state of Maryland. It took me all summer to figure out how to narrow that focus down. Vacant and abandoned now is a definition that we have 14 criteria. If you meet 4 of those, the circuit court will decide if this is a vacant and abandoned home, thus expediting the foreclosure process and taking those boards off of those homes and getting the house back into fair market value and getting the prices for our citizens back up to where it's supposed to be.
Okay, and why should people vote for you once again?
Very good question. I've been in office now, this will be my 14th year, and I think that I've done a very good job. Some of the things that I've been trying to get pushed through the system are still not done. One of the things I'm working on now is getting property managers licensed. Property managers in the state of Maryland are not licensed. Real estate agents are licensed, plumbers are licensed, etc. To get property managers licensed is a multi-step process. Step 1 took place last year. Step 2 and 3, I have 2 more years I need to get the property managers license in the state of Maryland. So I want to come back and finish what I've started.
Okay, Delegate Holmes, much luck to you. You're running against, or I should say Ron Watson is running against you. We'll definitely keep an eye on this race, and I appreciate your time coming in here.
Thank you very much.
All righty, the primary election will be held in June.